Hey there, greetings one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. I hope you all have been, I hope the week has treated you well. I hope you guys had a great week and that you're gearing up for a fun weekend. One can only hope. Isn't that what the weekends are for, really? To have fun? Of course, I won't be having fun this weekend. Well, not necessarily. I don't expect to have fun. Let's put it that way. Chores, adulting is hard. But yeah, I did have fun last weekend, though. I went up to Portland for the day on Saturday, and in just a minute, I will be showing you some of the stuff I came home with from Portland. Yeah, I did my usual Portland thing, the new normal, the pandemic normal for Portland for us. I ride up there with my brother. He goes to the Habitat for Humanity restores, building supply stores and stuff. He drops me off at Music Millennium. I have fun there for a couple hours, go have lunch at the City State Diner in Portland, and then spend the first half of the afternoon at Everyday Music, another record store. And the City State Diner just happens to be located smack dab in between the two record stores. Can life get more perfect, honestly? So yeah, had lots of fun. We'll show you the stuff that I came home with. Excuse me. First, though, the main feature of today is Bargain Bag, as you saw in the title for the video. My October Bargain Bag. It is, I usually like to do it in the first half of the month, and I suppose since it's not midnight here yet, on the 15th of the month, I guess technically I am still in the first half of the month, so yay me. But yes, I like to do it much, much earlier than that in the first half of the month. So anyway. We'll get back to schedule. Hopefully, since I had my camera mess up, my schedule was a little bit cockeyed this month. So hopefully get back on schedule for next month. But yes, showing you the stuff from Portland. One thing I'd like to do, though, is I'm kind of hoping to get into the groove with this new live stream thing, with doing a little things at the beginning, little miscellaneous tidbits, like perhaps one which I will unofficially soft start this week is my album stream of the week. And I thought I would kick that off with somebody who happens to be a very close friend of a very close friend. His name is Zachary Cole, and he is an Oklahoman native, I believe. He released his first full-length album. It is available on streaming services. It's called Ivory, and it's very, very good. It's not normally the kind of stuff I would go in for, but I mean, since it's a close friend and soon-to-be brother-in-law of a very dear friend of mine, I figured I had to give it a try, at the very least, right? And I was met with a very intimate-sounding album. It was, yeah, it's kind of like, those, I'm going to give a bad analogy because I'm not very good at analogies, but those chairs that are just like big pits, not in the negative sense, but like a big bowl, like you're sitting inside of a big bowl with fabric edges on it, and it's nice, dark, and cozy. And that's the sound, that's the vibe that I get from the album. It's very, very interesting, very intimate, and there is, if I recall correctly, there is no percussion on any of the tracks, no drums or anything like that. And normally that would be a deal breaker for me, but it wasn't. It was it made the album more intimate. He's got a good voice, and he plays, oh gosh, 5 or 6 different kinds of guitars I hear in there, unless he's just taking the guitars and doing certain processing on them to make them sound completely different. That could be the case. I don't know what his recording process was for that album and whatnot, but it's a very good album. And that there are a couple of parts, a couple songs here where he does the atonal or arrhythmic thing, and I don't know if that's on purpose or not. But honestly, with, as I said, that cozy and intimate vibe, just it kind of wraps you up inside the album. Those imperfections, arguable imperfections, are kind of beside the point. They don't really matter. It's just a very, very good album, as I said. You got to check it out. It's called Ivory, and it's by Zachary Cole. 2 of the favorite songs for me on that album are Ferris Wheel and Venice. So, yeah, but all the songs, really, I mean, almost every one has its own kind of vibe to it. So, yeah, good stuff. Good going, Zach. If that's your first album, I can't wait to see what you come up with next. So yes, and I actually did meet him very briefly in Oklahoma when I was there visiting Noah and Alyssa. So yeah. Anyway, so yes, album stream of the week. That's my inaugural edition of that. I'm thinking of doing other stuff like music quote of the week, just taking a random quote about music from a historical figure or celebrity that I find interesting, and presenting it to you and maybe soliciting your thoughts on it. Tell me what you think about it. But I'll say that one for next week. But yes, for now, I thought I would show you some of the stuff, the highlights of my finds from up in Portland on Saturday. First one is one that I've actually listened to after I bought it. The rest of them I actually have not listened to yet. As with it seems a lot of other stuff, I'm kind of behind on my listening. You should see the pile of CDs that I have. Some of the stuff that I came back from Oklahoma and Texas with, I still haven't listened to. So that ought to give you an idea of how far behind on my listening I am. Anyway, the first one is an album called Three. It is three as in the Roman numeral. You see the three columns here, the glass columns. It's number 3. That's the name of the album. It's by an artist called Shiny Toy Guns. And this is electro rock, lots of synths, lots of very 80s sounding stuff. Very good stuff. And this, I had actually owned this album a long time ago and got rid of it during a space crunch. I actually have, this is their, as the title implies, their third album. I've owned their first 2 albums ever since they came out. But this one, at the time, I, for some reason, wasn't very fond of it. But on re-listening to it, it is quite possibly my favorite album of theirs. So yeah, go listen to Shiny Toy Guns, especially if you like that electro rock kind of stuff. And there is more than one vocalist. One of them is female, and the other vocalist is male. So they trade off in vocals. So if you like that variety in the vocals, you'll get that on this album. So yes, excellent stuff. And now this next one is going to probably surprise. The more you know me, the more you will be surprised by this. But it is a 2-disc set of greatest hits by Poison. Yes, the hair metal band. I don't care for hair metal, but Poison has had some of the best songs. In some ways, they've had the highest number of catchy, good songs of any hair metal band. My own very vague, sketchy assessment. A lot of you are going to disagree out there, you metal aficionados. But yeah, it was nothing but a good time. And then what else? Oh, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, one of the classic power ballads from hair metal in the 80s and 90s. And they do a couple of covers. We're an American Band and Suffragette City, the David Bowie cover. And there was another one, Love on the Rocks. I think that's also a cover. And and Your Mama Don't Dance, the Loggins and Messina hit. And of course, their original songs, Unskinny Bop. And there was another one. I should have made notes. There's another classic original song of theirs. And they do a cover of the Rolling Stone, the Dr. Hook hit. So yeah, lots of stuff to enjoy on this. I actually had a 1-disc collection of theirs that I kind of liked, but when I saw this one, 2 discs, and I think it was only $5, maybe $6. So figured I had to pick it up. And okay, what I consider the best scores on this trip, you guys are probably going to laugh, but Casey and the Sunshine Band. Yes, kitschy disco music. Yay. But yes, this is their sophomore album, self-titled, as well as their 4th album, I think it is. It's called Part 3, but it's their 4th album. Remastered with bonus tracks, and they're in the super jewel boxes, you can see, with the rounded corners and stuff. I for some reason, I've always liked the super jewel boxes. I don't know why. But anyway, I was aware of both of these albums for a while and had kind of sort of been keeping my eye out for them. And I was actually looking for a CD that actually ended up not being there at Music Millennium, and was just kind of skimming the soul section. And I saw these 2 sitting there. They cost me $15 each. So, not exactly a bargain, but they go for that much or more online on like Discogs and eBay. So I consider them a good purchase. So some of you guys who don't like disco might disagree, but hey, what the hell. And then a couple of bargain bag inspired pickups that I found. Had been looking for these for quite a while. Two albums by the Canadian rock band Odds, Neapolitan and Good Weird Feeling, because I got their album Bedbugs in a bargain bag recently. Funny that I'm doing this in a bargain bag video, talking about some bargain bag inspired pickups. But yeah, and ever since I listened to that album that was in the bargain bag, I'd wanted more of Odds, so I found those two, as well as the sophomore album by Frente. Their first album, Marvin the Album, was in a bargain bag recently. First half of this year, I think, or was it last year? I can't remember. It might have been last year, because the last year or so have been a blur, as I'm sure they have for a lot of people. But yeah, this is their sophomore album, Shape. So pick that up. And then another pair of albums by the same artist. And I had seen their self-titled one a couple of times and just never bothered picking it up. It sort of intrigued me, but not enough to pick it up. But these were in the budget section for $2 each. It's a band called The Tractors, and as you could probably guess by their title, a lot of glare on there, they are a country band, country-ish, and so they got their debut album as well as Farmers in a Changing World. So, and another interesting coincidence is these guys were an Oklahoma band, and I didn't realize it until I picked it up. First of all, Noah can probably vouch for me. I think that's the Tulsa Skyline in the picture there. But as you can see, track 1, the Tulsa Shuffle. I should have guessed they were an Oklahoma band when I saw the title of that song, but sometimes I'm slow on the uptake. What can I say? And here is actually a better shot from the fix. I'm pretty sure that's the Tulsa Skyline, and because I think I checked the liner notes and they did record the album, or at least part of it, in a studio in Tulsa. So yeah, another Oklahoma connection in my music collection, album listening, etc. So anyway, those are my album pickups, the highlights of my album pickups from Portland. Had lots of fun there, as I almost always do up there in Portland. Water break. And so let's go ahead and get on with my bargain bag for October. I'm going to basically format this as I do with my pre-recorded bargain bag videos. Yes, it is my monthly hunt for buried audio treasures in the form of 2 mystery CD grab bags from the late Skips Records and CD World. And before opening the bags, I break down what I found in last month's bargain bags. And in between the bags, I talk about a CD that I have found, or that you might be likely to find, in the bargain section of a retailer near you. So, in rough order from cast-offs to keepers, let me go ahead and break down what I found last month. First off, we have a classical compilation, the Relaxation album. I've got one that is somewhat similar to this, but yes, all the very laid-back and relaxing classical pieces from classical music's greatest hits, I guess. And then we have Barsham with Ghettonometry hip-hop, as if you couldn't tell by the cover. As I try to get the glare off here, I may have to do something about the glare on the screen in future videos. But yeah, hip-hop, gangster rap kind of stuff. Did not care much for it. Big surprise there, right? And then we have Panda Select, 10% by volume. This it was okay. It's kind of the folk pop jangle rock kind of stuff. Very unremarkable for me anyway. Excuse me. But yeah, not much more to say about that. Butterfly Pants is the name of one of the songs here. And another song is called Pass the Sauce. Yeah. And just thought those were interesting song titles. Oh, and Cloudy Pillow is another song. Who doesn't like cloudy pillows? And we have another kind of an alt-rock kind of thing. This is Furniture. This probably wins the award for this month's bargain bag with the most clever band name, Furniture. And yeah, as I nothing much to say about these guys either. Kind of unremarkable. Punch Me in the Face. That's the name of one of the song titles. It's not a request. Trust me. Dogs Outside. There's another song title. Save the Knee, which kind of it's a coincidence that there's a song titled by that name, because Noah and I talked about the subject of our knees came up in a recent email exchange. Just found that very interesting. And another song on here is called Interesting Things. Coincidences all around. And then I never get the chance to just look at the song titles in some of these, since I'm doing this more freeform kind of live streamish type of video. I figure I might as well take the time to do that. Then we have Skyline with their album Bark, and this is noise rock kind of stuff, very drony, atonal, arrhythmic kind of stuff. I suppose I can move myself over here so I'm not doing that with CDs, so you can actually see my adorable face. Anyway, yeah, noise rock, completely uninteresting to me. I need to have some melody and rhythm and stuff like that in my music. I'm kind of boring that way. Maybe you could argue that, but it's how I roll, And then we have Weathervane with their album Roll Like Thunder, and very Americana-ish. Kind of reminds me of a cross between Sheryl Crow and Bonnie Raitt. That's the vocalist, at least. So yeah, just that kind of stuff. There's not much more to say about that. And I don't think there were any. Mama K and Wheezy, that's the name of one of the songs on here. But yeah, all the other songs were pretty much ordinary titles. Then we have a CD single, the song Miracle by John Bon Jovi, solo song from his. Not bad, not much to say about this one at all, really, because it's a CD single, 2 tracks, an edit and the LP version of the same song. So, good song. I like Bon Jovi. What can I say about that? And then we have a blues rock kind of thing here. Doc Lawrence is this guy's name. And it struck me as the note that I wrote on the back of it on the sticky note here, his voice is kind of between Stevie Ray Vaughan and a bad Mick Jagger impersonation. Hate to say it, but that's how his voice struck me, honestly. But yeah, I mean, the song stylings, the melodies and lyrics, okay, blues rock stuff. If you like blues rock, I'd say, why not give them a try? What could it hurt? All you could do, the worst that would happen is you don't like it. And then we have a jazz/new age-ish kind of guy, Danny Zeitlin, with his album In the Moment. Pretty unremarkable stuff. I have nothing really to say about that. It's on the Windham Hill label, which was known for their jazz and new age stuff. So, pretty middle of the road. That's why it's kind of in the middle of my breakdown list. And we're getting close to the keepers. I have, I think, 4 keepers. So a respectable haul from this bag. Coming up next here, we have Mortonette, a songstress, African-American singer. African-American, I assume. She might be British, I don't know. But yes, this is an interesting, pretty decent blend of inspirational and uplifting songs, some religious stuff like hymns and stuff, and other songs are just popular songs. We've got, let's see, You'll Never Walk Alone by Oscar Hammerstein and Richard Rodgers. I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. Let's not talk about him. And then Everything I Do It For You, the Bryan Adams hit. This Little Light of Mine, it's a spiritual. And The Impossible Dream, which was from Man of La Mancha. Took me a minute. But yeah, but her singing, though, when I listened to her singing, it sounded a little bit sharp. Is it sharp or flat? I'm not sure in places. Just a tiny bit out of tune, enough that it was noticeable to me and kind of detracted from the enjoyment of it. But otherwise not bad. I guess if the singing's not really great, Anyway, moving on. We have a classical CD here. Selections by Brahms, Johannes Brahms, famous obviously for his Brahms Lullaby. But that is pretty much, I think, all that I had ever heard of Brahms's compositions. So this was new to me, interesting to listen to. Good stuff. And as with Brahms' Lullaby, a lot of this is the more quiet, subdued stuff. But he's got some good stuff on here. I decided to keep it and give it a few more spins. Why not? Then we have, oh yeah, this one was, this is called Golden Slumbers, A Father's Lullaby. And it's kind of what it shows on the cover. What you get from the cover is basically not really a salute to fathers, but a CD that recognizes the importance of fathers in a baby's life, which, you know, it's like, hey, they're part of the kid's life too. Why not? But it's a lot of interesting, mostly jazz artists covering a variety of songs. Dave Koz is he's a saxophonist, and he is one of the more prominent people on here. Rick Braun, who is a trumpet player, I believe. And we also have Bruce Watson, David Benoit, who is a pianist, and Peter White, who is a guitarist. Brian Culbertson, another jazz artist. But yeah, they do all sorts of really good songs, children's songs, you know, lullabies and stuff, like Brahms' Lullaby, as I was just talking about, and Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Hush Little Baby, you know, little children's songs, that kind of thing, as well as Blackbird, which is a Lennon and McCartney cover. Hey, it's nighttime. I'm getting tired. What can I say? And Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And, you know, just, it's a very pleasant, cute CD. I don't know that I will ever become a father myself, but, and maybe if a friend of mine does ever become a father, maybe I'll pass it on to him. Might get some enjoyment out of it. Who knows? And then the last two in my collection here, we've got Robin Meade with her CD Brand New Day. This is a country album. Very nice stuff, and it actually has appearances by Bo Bice, one of the American Idol runners-up, I believe. John Rich, Billy Dean, both of those are country artists. Jim Brickman, who is a new age easy listening pianist, and so yeah, several good artists, guest artists on here. And she does a cover of the Richard Marx song Right Here Waiting. A very good cover of that. And there's another, Dirty Laundry, the Don Henley song. She does a cover of that one. That's the closing track on here. Very good rendition of that. Interesting, mostly because I'd never heard a woman sing it before. Good stuff. And I thought there was another cover on here, but I cannot find it right now. But yeah, a good album, good enough for me to keep it and give it a few more spins. So, okay. And then the final album here in the breakdown of last month's is by the group called Insulated, and the album is called Fence. And it reminds me a bit of Rick Rubin era Red Hot Chili Peppers. So it's got a little bit of that funky and slightly hip-hoppy bottom end. So it's got a little bit of funk and bounce to it. But yeah, good stuff. And yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to this. This might actually be on my bargain bag CDs of the year list. It's definitely going to be in the running. So there you have it for the breakdown of last month's bargain bag CDs. So let's go ahead, and this is kind of the moment that live streams were made for. I should have been doing bargain bag as a live stream from the get-go, from as soon as I was able to, but sometimes I'm slow on the uptake, as I keep saying. So let's go ahead and get started on the first bag, because yes, it's made for live streams, because you will actually see my live in-the-moment reactions as I open these. Not that you were not getting insincere reactions before. It was just I kept editing and cutting so that the video would flow more smoothly. So anyway, but here we go with the first CD. What do we have here? The Art of Classical Piano, a classical piano compilation. Of course. That's what it says on the tin, right? I'm going to have to try and do something about the glare. Maybe if I reposition the camera, who knows? Well, these live streams are going to be a work in progress. What can I say? We have Tim Booth with his album Bone. It's an interesting cover picture. I'm not sure what to say about this. It's yeah, never heard of Tim Booth before, so we will take a look at this. Monkey God is one of the songs. Redneck is another song on here. So. As I always say, it'll be interesting to listen to the stuff that I pull out of these bargain bags. We have Mike Johnson, Where Am I? That's the name of the album. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. Oh, it does have vocals on it. I was looking at the credits back here. It looked like it was just instrumentation, but no, there are vocals here. Don't recognize any song titles, so yeah. It's on Up Records, which is a Seattle, Washington label. So lots of unknown stuff in here. What do we have here? We have, oh, this is the second volume, or the first volume actually, of that 50 Sweet Bands, 50 Sweet Songs. The first of which I already sent to Goodwill. Yeah, it was an kind of a strange selection of songs anyway. Didn't really tickle my fancy all that much, but I will listen to this one anyway. This is mainly like easy listening pop stuff from like the 30s and 40s is basically what it is. So. Then we have The Rake's Progress. And Altitude is the name of the album. It's got a nice little kitty cat on the cover, huh? And so Howard is a Drag. That's the name of track 2. There's another song called I'll Talk My Way Out of This One. Whimsical song titles amuse me. What can I say? And then the next to last CD in the bag here, we have Red by Pepe Ginsburg. Yet another artist I have not heard of. From Park the Van Records, a Pennsylvania-based record label. So I like this one because it's a soft cover and doesn't show glare from the camera. So, yeah, I honestly, these all just, I have nothing to say about these CDs. We have, oh, Melinda Doolittle. I may have actually picked this one up and listened to it before, but she was, I believe, a finalist on an American Idol season. And so, yeah, I am interested in, I'll be curious to hear what this one's like. It strikes me as having maybe a soul vibe because it's kind of got a little bit, the cover seems a little reminiscent of like a Marvin Gaye cover or a mid to late period Motown album cover. So, yes, I will be looking forward to listening to those CDs. And then water break, excuse me. And now on to the Spotlight CD for this month's bargain bag. And yeah, I've been having trouble picking out Spotlight CDs to cover on here, and I'll get to that. And at the end of this bargain bag, I will have a special announcement. So don't go away as soon as I've opened the second bag because I got more stuff to talk about. But anyway, yeah, Milli Vanilli. This is their album, Girl You Know It's True, their one and only album. I hesitated in spotlighting this one just because we all pretty much know what happened with Milli Vanilli. It turns out that these two guys were not the guys that sang on the album. It was two totally different guys. They were caught lip syncing at a concert and were basically tarred and feathered and basically disowned by the music industry for good reason, obviously. They won a Grammy for Best New Artist, and it was revoked because of all this. And this was the one instance not only of a Grammy being revoked, but of an extremely popular album being taken out of print while it was still, very popular. So, yeah, it was, as I said, their one and only album. But still, despite all that, it's when you take away, who the guys are on the cover and the whole scandal and all that, it's good music. Honestly, the album was a huge hit. And there are so many great songs on here, songs that kind of defined the 90s, right? This is late 80s, early 90s. 1989, I think, is when the album came out. But yeah, Girl You Know It's True, the title track, and Baby Don't Forget My Number, Blame It on the Rain, and wasn't there another one? I guess there wasn't another one. Just those were the big hits. But yeah, pretty much every track on this album is fun to listen to, I gotta say. And yeah, if you want that kind of a hallmark album of late 80s, excuse me, early 90s pop with a little bit of that New Jack Swing sound, This is a textbook example of that. But yes, and as I said, with the scandalous nature of Milli Vanilli, not that it was a really dirty scandal like sex, sexual misconduct or anything like that. Not that being outright frauds is not a big thing. Still, I had hesitation, but hey, the album's not in print, so they wouldn't get any money from the album sales anymore. You can only buy it used. So I figured, what's the harm in talking about it? And I'm talking about the music, not so much about the guys behind it. But yeah, and actually, one of the two actual vocalists for this album, I cannot remember his name. He passed away sometime last year, in the second half of last year, I believe. I don't have his name. I should have looked it up before I did this, but I was not well prepared for some of the stuff, but for this video. But anyway, one of the hazards of doing a video at 8 o'clock at night after I've been at work all day. But hey, I figure it's a good start to my weekend, is getting this video out to you. I hope you guys enjoy this new live stream format, as I said. But I am rambling. Girl, You Know It's True by Milli Vanilli. Yes, take for it what you will, take as it what you will. I'm trying to assemble a coherent sentence. Anyway. I hope I'm not losing too many viewers by this incessant rambling. Keegan, how's it going? You've probably typed those things like 20 minutes ago, and I just now saw them. Good to have you here. And now on to the second bag. Tired as I may be, I am enjoying this live stream thing. Especially for the, as I said, the feature in my channel that it was live streaming was made for. And let's orient the CDs properly. And we have, Indigo Girls? Yes. Nomads, Indian Saints. I already have this one. Good stuff. If you are not familiar with Indigo Girls, good folk rock stuff. Gotta say, I've got 3 or 4 of their albums. And this was their second one or third one. I can't remember, but yeah, that's a band that I have a bit of a personal history with, kind of. I could tell a story from my youth about that band, and maybe I'll do that at some point. Then we have Abena, I believe is how you pronounce that. Tuesday's Child is the name of the album. I'm going to guess this is some kind of African-esque jazz soul kind of stuff, maybe like Sade. That's one of the things I'd like to do, is try to guess what genre or what type of music something is if I've never seen it before. I kind of like the cover styling of this album. It's really kind of cool. Then we have The Kissers, Fire in the Belly. Yet another band I have never heard of before. From 2003, self-released. American Folk Song is one of the songs here. A Faint Crackling Sound is another one of the song titles. Scum of America. This could be an interesting album to listen to. Also, the cover art on this one is also kind of cool, too. I've always enjoyed hand-painted or hand-drawn art. It looks very, very hand-done. And then we have, Stacy Orico? Is it Orico or Orico? I'm not sure. But yes, this is her self-titled. Yes. Something tells me I have at least listened to this album before. I may have bought it, listened to it, and not thought anything of it at the time. Or I may be completely mistaken. But I'm going to listen to it again. If I have listened to it before, it was probably at a time when my tastes were significantly different. Yes, I can talk. And there are several artists from that time that I didn't like back then, but I enjoy now. So I could have a complete turnaround on this one, too. A couple of well-known ones in this bag. And we have Ronnie Freeman. I have never heard of this guy before. And Rocket Town Records, I guess is, yeah, I wouldn't know what to say about this guy. This looks like straightforward pop, I guess, possibly country, but strictly from a visual observation, a visual evaluation, initial visual evaluation. Big word. Anyway, what do we have here? Oh, a compilation. Or maybe not. Kai Sturdivant, Sweet Roads, Summer Fun. Oh, no. Wait a minute. This is a little confusing me here. Is it the wrong? Yes, it is the wrong insert in the CD. And there's also a... Yes, the front booklet was for a Kai Sturdivant album. But this is actually a compilation called Summer Fun. Heatwave by Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. We'll Sing in the Sunshine by Gail Garnett. In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. I've always liked that song. And A Summer Song by Chad and Jeremy. And Eddie Cochran, The Shangri-Las, The Love and Spoonful. So, a summer-themed compilation. So, just in time for the end of October. Why not? I don't mind being reminded of summer in the winter or fall. And then the last CD in this bag here, The Walkabouts, Slow Days with Nina. It is a 5-song EP. Cotton Eye Joe is one of the songs. I assume that's a cover of the country song. Well, there you have it. Yet again, an interesting selection of bargain bag CDs. Oh, and one must stay hydrated, mustn't one? Anyway, a special announcement, as I was hinting at a few minutes ago. Guess what? Bargain Bag lives. Yes, this year will not be the end of Bargain Bag. It will be restarting, rebooting at the beginning of January. I'll tell you the story here. Where do I start the story? Okay, I was over at, nighttime, brain fatigue. I was over at Epic Seconds, which is a local little CD, DVD, and game store here in Eugene. And they have a wall of $1 CDs. And I happened to walk in there one day, and they were on sale, 4 for $1. How can you pass up a CD for 25 cents? So I just started buying them. I was thinking about, Bargain Bag has always been my favorite feature. In and Out has been my favorite feature, sometimes second favorite on my channel. And I'd kind of been thinking about a way to try and keep it going. And I thought about buying one of those huge, 150, 200 CD lots off of eBay. I'm sure you've seen, if you've ever gone cruising around on eBay, you've probably seen those lots. Just, completely random selection of CDs. And, sometimes they sell them for like 25 bucks, but they require like 25 bucks to ship them. So I kind of been thinking about doing that and just getting them and then not even opening the box and having somebody else bag them so I wouldn't see them. But then this thing came along, and I decided to go ahead and just start buying all the CDs I could, to get the necessary number of bargain bags. And so I decided to do that. So yes, I have seen what's inside them, strictly speaking, and I bag them myself. But by the time I start opening them in January, I probably won't remember a quarter or a tenth of what's in them. So they will probably be surprises to me. Most of them will be, or pleasant reminders. I'll be surprised again. There you go. But anyway, a couple little modifications to the bargain bag formula. Instead of 2 bags a month, it'll be just 1 bag a month. But instead of 7 CDs, the bags will each be holding 8 CDs. So you'll get a little bit more, but you'll also get less. So, and also the artists and titles will overall be better known stuff, as opposed to the almost complete unknowns as have been happening in Bargain Bag thus far. So yes, it should be more interesting, more exciting. I am definitely looking forward to it. Restarting Bargain Bag. I'm still going to end this year's bargain bag, as I have planned. Next month, I will open all 4 of the remaining old bargain bags, the remaining Skips bargain bags. And so in December, I will not have bag openings. I'll just have a breakdown. Or maybe I will open up one bonus bag. I'm still thinking about that. One of the new bags I might open at the end. But, I kind of, my OCD-ish slightly nature wants to keep things confined to 2021. The end of the Skips era of bargain bags confined to 2021. I'm anal like that, I tell you. But anyway, so yes, I hope you guys are happy about the news. Bargain bag lives. I know I am. And yeah, so yes, I bought enough CDs for actually a little more CDs than necessary for 24 bags. So one bag each month for the next 2 years. So yes, bargain bag should run at least through the end of 2023. Wow, that's right. This is 2021. I keep having trouble remembering that. So yeah, gosh, is that it for the video? I suppose I can. I ideally am making these 1-hour videos, so I've still got 20 minutes to kill. So small talk. How about just running on with a little bit of small talk until I get tired of speaking? I was going to pick up Coldplay's new CD today at House of Records, but they actually didn't have it. And the manager or the owner said that they have been running into supply chain issues, as pretty much every store everywhere has. So I was not able to come home with it. I was kind of ignoring Music of the Spheres. I saw that it was coming out, but their last album, Everyday Life, was kind of out there. I mean, it was well done. It was just really eclectic, almost a little too eclectic for me. So I have shrunk on it, or it has shrunk on me more than I expected it would. Excuse me. So for that reason, I was kind of, really almost fearing what they were going to be coming up with their new album. But when I realized that Max Martin was involved, he was a songwriter and producer who was responsible for some Backstreet Boys and NSYNC hits from the turn of the millennium. That kind of made me rethink. And so I'm kind of looking forward to, some people may not like Coldplay going pop, but I've been looking forward to a more mainstream sounding Coldplay album after what we got with Everyday Life. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to pick it up. I listen to the sound clips and a couple of the singles. I don't like to listen to the whole thing before I buy it. Even though, yes, I'm taking a gamble with my money. Still, I'm kind of old school that way with how I consume my music. What can I say? So yes, I'm kind of looking forward to it. And another thing was, I didn't realize until I read the credits on Wikipedia that Jacob Collier is involved in one of the songs. I love Jacob Collier's stuff. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's kind of mind blowing with the stuff that he does. And also, what was the other thing? The fact that it's got a loose theme of astronomy, the solar system, that kind of thing. I've kind of I was a low grade astronomy nut when I was a kid. My parents bought me a telescope one year for Christmas, and I spent a couple of years, well, not every night, but 2 or 3 nights a week looking through the telescope at the moon. And I think I looked for Venus a couple of times and stuff. So plus with my Star Trek and sci-fi nerdiness, anything that has anything to do with references to the solar system, space, and that kind of stuff is going to pull my interest at least a little bit. So so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And next week, Duran Duran is coming out with their new album. I am so waiting for that. And there was another one that was coming out next week. What was it? Go to my, yes. I keep the upcoming releases noted on my Google Calendar. So, and I need to clean my glasses too. I realize that. Duran Duran and Elton John with the Lockdown Sessions. That's coming out next week too. So I'm looking forward to that. He does, I believe, a duet with Charlie Puth. There. I'm a bit of a Charlie Puth fan. As much for his music as for the fact that he is a super, super music nerd. I mean, I've read interviews with Charlie Puth, and it's just kind of, his brain is like a sponge with all things music. So it's kind of cool to. Sometimes I think of him as this is going to sound weird. It's like a music geek man crush. It's kind of what I have on Charlie Puth, just because he's just such a music nerd, you know. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to those albums. And oh, and what's coming out in December? There was, or excuse me, November. Adele. We've just found out Adele's coming out with an album, and one that kind of off most people's radar is a ukulele player named Jake Shimabukuro. And his new album, Jake and Friends, is coming out, and that's a duets album. I cannot remember who's on that. Let me look for it. Hopefully it won't take too long and with too many awkward moments of silence. Thank you, Google. Or can I thank the internet connection? There we go. Moon Taxi is going to be duetting with him on one of the songs, as well as Willie Nelson. Why not? Bette Midler, Jimmy Buffett, Kenny Loggins, Michael McDonald, Amy Grant, Ziggy Marley, Jack Johnson. It's going to be a freaking all-star thing, kind of like the Elton John one. So yes, now that I realize that there were a couple on there that I didn't realize were going to be on there, so now I'm even sounding more pumped about that one. So yeah. So yes, the next 2 months are going to be pretty eventful with regard to new releases. And speaking of new releases, next week, next Friday on my channel, I think I'm going to finally tackle my Spankin' Platters recent release roundup for the. This will be my summer edition. Yes, half a month late, well, more than half a month late. So yes. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. That'll take up most of the hour because I've got 6 or 7 or possibly 8 albums to talk about. So yeah, going to be looking forward to that, and might have a couple other little small talk things, what have you. So yeah. So yeah, Keegan's been monopolizing the conversation here. Yeah, but hey, nothing wrong with that, right? So yeah, is that it? That might be it. I might be ending this a little bit early. My voice is getting a little bit rough too. Oh, another thing I was going to talk about. Hopefully I will be sprucing up my live streams in the next coming weeks or so. I've been doing some research on OBS Studio, which is a streaming software, and you can do green screening with it. You can do overlays and stuff with that. So I might be able to actually bring back my intro at the beginnings. And my goal is to green screen in a photo of my classic background, so it'll look more like my old videos. So we'll see if I hope to get some time this weekend to experiment with OBS Studio. So maybe I'll get really fancy and flashy with my live streams. Who knows? But yeah. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream today. I got to tell you, I have been loving this format. I can do the stream and pack my stuff up at the end and be done with it and not have to think about it. Not that you guys aren't worth it, but it's nice to have some or most of the weekend to myself without having to worry about YouTube. Winners all around, what can I say? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my live stream. Yes, this Kai Sturdivant insert is probably going to go in the trash because the CD wasn't with it. So what can I say? Anyway, hope you enjoyed this live stream. I forgot, hang on 1 second here. I want to do my proper outro because I'm picky that way. Assuming it will let me come up here. Actually, no, it's not there. Yay, awkward silence. As I said, this is, in my opinion, this is one of the charming things about live streams is they're imperfect. And I was stressing myself so much in making each of my videos as perfect as I could make them. And even though knowing full well that there pretty much is no such thing as a perfect video, I would still try and drive myself nuts sometimes. Where is my outro? There it is. And now I'm going to try and sound spontaneous, even though I was actually fully admitting that I was hunting for my pre-written outro as we go on here. Anyway, that'll do it for Bargain Bag for the month of October 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that like button and share it with your friends. And give me your thoughts, questions, suggestions, or constructive criticisms in the comments section below. Also, scroll down to the description for the links to my Twitter and Instagram feeds and links to my favorite fellow YouTubers who are all worth checking out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet and browse my past videos. And be sure to ring that notifications bell so you'll be the first to know each time I drop a new video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.